Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to build a simple villager trading hall for Minecraft Bedrock. Let's go. These are the materials you will need for this farm. This assumes that you want to have 10 villagers in it. You will need more materials the more villagers you want to have in the farm. Before you start building the trading hall, I would recommend getting every single villager you are ever going to put into this hall ready. This is because it is quite difficult to add extra villagers once you've built it, and so it is best if you put them all in when you first build it. So first thing you'll need to do is place down some beds right next to each other. Here you're going to need to place as many beds as the amount of villagers you want to put in the trading hall. For this farm I'm going to be doing a total of 10. You can put as many or as few beds as you want, it's all totally up to you. Now, looking at the feet of the bed, go over to the right hand side of the beds and place down some trapdoors, like this. You're going to place them across all of them, but importantly, make sure that when you open them, they open to the left hand side of the bed, like this. If they open up a different way, like this, it's because you are facing in the wrong direction and you'll have to make sure you are facing more this way. Once you've opened them all up, they should look like this. On the end you started on, you should notice that there's none on the right hand side of this bed, so just place another one here and make sure it opens up like so. Now we're going to surround the beds with some blocks. Place a line of blocks on the front of the bed, then place it going around the sides, and finally on the back, like this. Then on the back row of blocks, build up by one block, and do the same above the heads of the bed, like this. So this step needs to be done very quickly while it's night time. First, get a few villagers over here. They could be by minecart or by boat or some other method if you have any. And then wait for it to link to a bed. After a little while, you should see that the villager will link up to a bed, and it should hop into the bed. You then need to do this for all the villagers you want to put in here. I would recommend not putting in nitwits because they can't trade. Nitwits are any that have a green coat. As you may notice, sometimes villagers won't link to the beds properly. If this happens, you may just need to break a few blocks to allow them in. As you can see, they're all now linking correctly to their beds. Make sure to replace any blocks that you might have broken. Now, while all the villagers are in their bed, place a temporary block here, and another one above it. Destroy the temporary block. There should be a 1 block gap above the trapdoors. Then make this into a line of blocks that goes over the top of all of the villagers. Make sure it goes over all of the feet of every single bed, like this. Now, as you can see, when it is daytime, all of the villagers should jump out of their beds, and they will be trapped inside of their little trading cells. Now, we're going to place some slabs of any kind in front of all the villagers, like this. You can now break these blocks below the villagers. These spaces down here are where we're going to be putting the workstations in just a moment. Now you will need to connect your workstations up with the correct villagers. To do this, get your workstation block of choice, for this I'll be using a lectern, and place it down over here somewhere. As you can see, it will link up with a villager. Remember which villager that was, and then place the workstation in front of them. Make sure they still link up. Then repeat this. The reason you have to do this is because it won't necessarily just be in this order. You can't just place them all here, because the villagers have a preference as to which workstation they go to. So, if we just repeat this, in this case, because I placed them from spawn eggs, it may be fairly linear, but for most instances, it will be completely random. As you can see here, all of the villagers are all linked up. As you may have saw, it was in order for me, but don't think it'll be the same for you, because it completely depends on when the villager was spawned into the world. So if they were in a villager breeder, you'll have no way of telling, so the order will be completely random. It was just like that because I spawned them in using spawn eggs. So if all you want to build is a trading hall, then this is all you need to do. However, if you want to also get the best deals for your trades, you'll also need to do a villager curing chamber. Please note that these will only work properly in hard mode if your settings are set to hard mode, because otherwise the villager that we are going to turn into a zombie villager has a chance of just dying and not spawning a zombie villager. If you want this to be reliable, you'll need to make sure your world is set to hard mode. So to build this, I would recommend going either up or down from your villager trading hall. It doesn't really matter, although if you build it crossways, it may be too far away from the village to recognise it. So in this case, we're just going to build up by a few blocks. Here, then build a slight diagonal like this, and build it out by a few blocks like this. Then place 3 pieces of rail like this, and one here. If this rail points this way, just place another block here to make sure it turns like this. Then you can destroy these 2 temporary rails and surround this block with some blocks. So now from here, on the lower rail, place a block and go up by 3 blocks so that you have a 4-block high pillar. Break these 2 blocks, place a piston pointing down here, a glass block here. Now you can break this block. Then you can place a lever here. Then put in a minecart here, and you're going to have to get a zombie to get into here. The easiest way I've found is to get it up here with a rail, make sure it doesn't burn because of sunlight, place it in, and just nudge it across. Then make sure to name it with a name tag. Then you can place back this block here, click down this lever, destroy that temporary block, and the zombie should be locked in place. Now we can do a similar thing, but with the villager. You just need to surround this rail with some blocks here, put a solid block here like this, and then you could get a villager up here in many different ways. I would generally just attach this to a minecart rail, but for this I'm just going to spawn it in. Make sure to push it into the minecart, replace any blocks you had to break, and it should look like this. While it isn't necessary, I would recommend name tagging the villager as well. This is just going to stop it disappearing if it turns into a zombie villager and you happen to leave the area, log out the world, or something like that. So now to use this, we'll just flick up this lever. The villager will slowly be turned into a zombie villager after a few seconds. Now you'd flick down this lever, throw a weakness potion at this zombie villager, feed it a golden apple. Now what should happen is after a few minutes, when this zombie villager is cured, the prices in these villagers here should go down by a small amount. Now after a couple minutes you can see that the zombie villager has turned back into a regular villager. If we go down here, you can see that all of the trades have had a slight discount. The more times you do this, the larger the discount will be, and do be aware that this discount will go away after a small amount of time. So make sure to renew it occasionally if you have the materials to do so. So that's it. That's how you make a villager trading hall for Minecraft Bedrock. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. If you have any questions or concerns, please pop them down in the comments below. And if you have any other ideas for future videos, again, put them down in the comments below. I always love to hear them. Anyway, that's it for today. See you next time. Bye.